What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol OPEN for Open Door Technologies. On the left-hand side, we're looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First thing I need to point out is that we did get an earnings announcement after the bell, so let's flip on the extended hours session on this guy and kind of see where we're trading at. Obviously, a massive gap up will be in play, huge bullish green candle here on the number, and it looks like solid earnings guidance as well from the conference call at 7, just kind of holding up here sideways. So let's just assume for round numbers sake, we open on the quarter. So 1725 is the number. Let's grab the other tool and try that this time. Zooming back in, let's call it 1725 in here. Pre-market high is up around 18 the whole dollar. And now let's turn that back off to get a better sense of, where we'll be essentially on the open. So certainly nowhere within recent trade history. Really have to scrunch this up to even get a feel for where we'll be opening up. And what we always like to do with earnings is just, when it's a gap up, we just look at the potential gap play. So we'll zoom in here. The gap obviously fills down towards 1507. And for the sake of the video, let's again say we're opening at 1729. So a couple of ways to play this. Let's do this on the 30-minute time frame side. So if we open here, fail to take out the overnight high, so 18, and trade back down through the open, your short entry is here. Let's see if you can do this with puts by checking out the option chain. Yes, certainly puts are available and pretty decent open interest in volume, to be honest with you. So not something I would be overly concerned with there. So again, opening here, failure to take out the overnight high, trading back down through the open puts into play the potential gap fill area. Because the gap is so large, I would likely argue that you should probably be looking for about a 50% retracement before holding out for the full gap fill down to 15. Generally, when gaps are large, you don't get them to fill all in one day. So where would that bring us? Going from this, and again, assuming that this is the open in here, a 50% gap fill is right around $16.18. So keep that in mind as a first target. And then, of course, 15 will be the full gap fill target underneath. Let's say we get a gap and go, right? Because that's the other scenario, which we cannot ignore. We obviously favor the inventory imbalance and the gap fill. But if we get a gap and go, let's say we open at 1729, we start to move higher, we reject, but we never quite make it down to that opening print, start to do something like this consolidation, you take the break up and over 18, and looking at the daily time frame, again, 18 is coinciding almost perfectly with this double top from in here, so we're looking left to see if we can find other areas of obvious support and resistance, and it looks like, kind of a ways to run. I would argue this should be on your radar next at 20, simply because we had support, and then in here some resistance on the back test. There's support from that inverted hammer as well, so 20, also a nice round psychological number on the gap and go. That would make a pretty wonderful upside target. I'd argue 19 could be a psychological resistance as well, so maybe that is on your radar there. So a couple of scenarios to ponder, right? There's a lot that can happen here with open door on this massive gap up. Let's see if it holds or if it fades. Again, actually looking at this, it's just amazing what technical analysis does. Remember that 50% gap fill that we targeted? That also lines up with prior support, which then turned to resistance in here closer to 1629, 1630, off by about 15 cents, but you get the general gist, right? So that's how I'm thinking about open door as we head into tomorrow's session. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comments section or by simply leaving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, we wish you a green trading week.